first public demonstration of telegraph messages sent using dots and dashes. An electrical telegraph was a point-to-point text messaging system, used from the 1840s until the late 20th century, when it was slowly replaced by other telecommunication systems. At the sending station, switches connected a source of current to the telegraph wires. At the receiving station, the current activated electromagnets which moved indicators, providing either a visual or audible indication of the text. It was the first electrical telecommunications system and the most widely used of a number of early messaging systems called telegraphs, that were devised to communicate text messages more rapidly than by physical transportation. Prior to the electric telegraph, semaphore systems were used, including beacons, smoke signals, flag semaphores, and optical telegraphs for visual signals to communicate over distances of land. Electrical telegraphy can be considered to be the first example of electrical engineering and was used by the emerging railway companies to develop train control systems that minimized the chances of trains colliding with each other. This was built around the signaling block system, with signal boxes along the line communicating with their neighboring boxes by telegraphic sounding of single-stroke bells and three-position needle telegraph instruments. The first category consists of needle telegraphs, in which a needle pointer is made to move electromagnetically with an electric current from a battery or dynamo passing down the telegraph line. Early systems used multiple needles requiring multiple wires. The first commercial system, and the most widely used needle telegraph, was the Cook and Wheatstone telegraph, invented in 1837. The second category consists of armature systems, in which the current activates a telegraph sounder which makes a click. The archetype of this category was the Morse system, invented by Samuel Morse in 1838, using a single wire. At the sending station, an operator would tap on a switch called a telegraph key, spelling out text messages in Morse code. Originally, the armature was intended to make marks on paper tape, but operators learned to interpret the clicks and it was more efficient to write down the message directly. In 1865, the Morse system became the standard for international communication, with a modified code developed for German railways. In the 1840s, the electrical telegraph superseded optical telegraph systems, except in France, becoming the standard way to send urgent messages. By the latter half of the century, most developed nations had created commercial telegraph networks with local telegraph offices in most cities and towns, allowing the public to send messages called telegrams addressed to any person in the country, for a fee. Beginning in 1854, submarine telegraph cables allowed for the first rapid communication between continents. Electrical telegraph networks permitted people and commerce to transmit messages across both continents and oceans almost instantly, with widespread social and economic impacts. In the early 20th century, the telegraph was slowly replaced by teletype networks.